Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Marvel's Agents of S.h.e.i.l.d. Season 6, Episode 2. It's called Window of Opportunity. So, full spoilers for the episode, as always. So, we had the last one with the reveal of Sarge being this Coulson lookalike coming out of the museum, and this episode largely focused on kind of the initial happenings of this villainous team now. We don't really have a group name for them yet, just Sarge and the Outsiders, we'll call them. Because they're clearly coming from different planets. That's the one thing that's clear, I think, from, as I say, different Earths, perhaps, is more accurate.
If my multiverse theory was correct, different worlds, yeah.
Different worlds, yeah. Because we get various evidence from this. The idea that it wasn't even that it just came from their home. It sounds like Sarge is been hopping Earths for a long time, and I think Jacko, the big guy, he's actually got like a little tank where he's breathing in some air at one point, and there's a mention that this is his natural atmosphere, that he doesn't get to breathe that often, so he kind of takes hits of it when he can. Which begs to question just how different some of these versions of Earth are.
Yeah, I mean that's assuming they are all, Earth and not still other
True.
planets as well.
They could be other planets.
If they are Earth, I appreciate that. Assuming this is a traditional multiverse, based on around Earth for the sake of this, I appreciate how different they actually seem to be, because a lot of times they're very similar, just different characters, right?
Yeah, there's a neat little thing at the start, because the opening scene's like this long shot through this little store, and it's just them taking stuff off shelves, and their theme seems to be this pouncing kind of drum.
Yeah.
This drum beat, and they're robbing the cash register, and they've got the guy at gunpoint, and he says, "Oh, what type of currency does this world have?" It's like, "Oh, it's paper with faces on it." "Oh, it's one of those, is it?"
Yeah, it's like, good, you can carry a lot of that.
Yeah, it's lighter than coin, so that's good.
Mm.
And then even comments that the guns are kind of primitive. It's like, "Oh, this is still combustion. What?
Yeah, maybe this will be easier than we thought.
This is medieval shit." So and then we find out that their truck has a cloaking mechanism, big lever that makes it go invisible.
Which seems extremely dangerous on a road, because sure, you may pay attention to the road, but hey, someone comes speeding up thinking, okay, clear road, I'm going to go ahead. Seems unwise.
I don't think they care.
Not in the sense that, there's collateral damage, but more just it gives away that there's a big, massive, invisible truck there.
Yeah. I feel
kind of defeats the point.
You're assuming there's no other safety precautions at play here. They've got advanced tech. What else have they got going here? They might have like deflector like fields or something like that. Like anyone who tries to like move out of that space is just kind of like bounce back, kind of gently. Like there's something weird going on here, and they'll just think it's some sort of weird anomaly. They're like, "Well, this is weird. There's a ghost on the highway. There's something not letting me move." I know.
Still ask too many questions for my liking. If I were them,
or maybe like they'll just cloak it for a little bit so that they're not seen leaving the crime, as it were. But once they're on a main road, it's like, well, we can just we're a truck now. It's fine.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, I'll be honest. This stuck out to me a lot in the episode, and it's been bugging me, right, ever since.
It's not bugging me, but it means I did think of it. Like I did think,
it's the one thing that's really bugged me throughout the whole episode. Like, I like this episode a lot because the show's still great, but man, this really bugs me.
I thought of it, but I didn't. It
didn't stick with you the way it has me.
Yeah, like I just kind of shrugged it off and went, whatever.
yeah, I couldn't do that. It's there. It's gnawing away at my brain, going,
it's fine.
But what if? I need an answer.
They take the quiet roads.
Quiet roads are the worst. That's where people go, "Oh, yeah, it's quiet. No one's here. I'll definitely just speed along here."
Oh, what's someone going to do? Phone in that they hit an invisible truck?
They might. I'm pretty sure if someone's going.
Oh my god, this has been like 3 minutes of this shit.
Someone's going along at 80 and they hit this truck. They're gonna crash. You're gonna get questions. They're gonna be like, "Well, I hit something. You didn't just crumple against nothing, do you?" Questions will be raised. can move on if you want,
Yeah, let's move
but
on.
it's I won't move on in my head.
That's fine. That's fine. We know that. So yeah, so there's a little bit of bickering. Pax, the smaller guy, he's a little shaken by the loss of their buddies, going through the wall and whatnot, and is very concerned about how things seem to be going. And there's all little tidbits here where it definitely hints that they're going to be ruining this planet very quickly, because like, hey, this place has blue skies and sugar water. Maybe we should enjoy it for a little bit.
Yeah.
Before it's all gone. It's like, what? Don't be ridiculous. We're not slowing down. Which begs the question: why are they doing this? Like, we have no idea what their motive is and why they care. But they seem to go from planet to planet or Earth to Earth, destroying it.
Yeah, there's got to be a reason. You don't do it just for the sake of it.
Yeah, so we don't know why yet, but that's definitely hinted at. So ultimately, they break into this jewelry store. And there's kind of a little twist to this at the end when it turns out what they actually want is really not that expensive.
Yeah, they keep calling them, like, referring to all of it PGs.
PGs, yeah. Which I'm not gonna lie, them wanting like diamonds that are going to fuel their cannon thing was making me think of Batman and Robin a little bit.
Yeah.
Because if you recall, Mr. Freeze's freeze gun was fueled by diamonds. I just want to point that out. But this one, it's basically quartz and crystal.
Yeah, like quartz and topaz and stuff. Yeah. It's like, I mean, it's pretty everyday stuff. Like it's the sort of tat you'll get in a gift shop.
Yeah, you can buy this for pretty dirt cheap. You did not have to break into somewhere with a vault to get to it.
A little bit weird it was in a vault with all the actual expensive diamonds.
I don't think it's that weird. I think it's just like a supply thing. Like it's just there for convenience.
I mean, it could be. It just seemed weird to me.
Are you just going to sit here and poke holes and everything?
No, I've got one more hole to poke, but this one I'll let go. This one, sure. Supply me. I've got one more hole, I promise.
One more hole, okay.
One more that I can think of. Maybe another will pop in as we're going, but I've got one that was worse than the truck for me.
But I actually really like the scene where they go out to the jewelry store and Sarge is talking to the employee and kind of it was the way he was talking about heartbeats, and then he kind of revealed that they're going to rob the place. And it's a very dark scene as well because Snowflake likes stabbing people and stabs a couple of guards.
Yeah, she's fun.
She's pretty psychotic. She believes she's reincarnating people into butterflies. So.
And I like it was who was it with them at the time? Was it the smaller guy with them?
Yeah.
And it's Pax. He's like, hey, they don't all become butterflies. With the implication being that he agrees that they'll be reincarnated, just not necessarily butterflies.
What it makes you think is what are they destroying worlds because they believe everything on the world will be reincarnated somewhere else? Is that the?
Yeah, like genuinely, I'm not sure because he seemed to be, in agreement about the reincarnation aspect.
I don't know if he was being in agreement in a serious way though. It might have been more of a.
Maybe it was just the because the line was, they don't all become butterflies. Like the implication, of course they're going to be something, but stop saying they're all butterflies. You
can read this two ways. I think you can also read this as him just like being pedantic, right?
You could, yeah.
I think you can read it that way. So reincarnation might not even be relevant to what they're doing, but it also could be the very reason why they're doing what they're doing. So,
so what we're saying is we have neither confirmed nor ruled anything out.
Yes, but we have a lot more things to theorize about based on this episode.
I'm just saying reincarnation. It may be vital. It may be nothing.
Yes, may just be the rantings of a mad woman.
It could well be.
Yeah, so they got out of the vault, and we actually saw them paint this funky circle on like a sheet of metal inside their truck already. And then they go out of the vault. They actually blow the vault locking mechanism so that they're locked in. But then they draw this circle on, and it's kind of, I think if you've ever watched anything before, you kind of just get in this idea that they're going to make a portal between the two circles.
Yeah.
But sure enough, the wall fades away, and big.
It's very Portal, isn't it? The game. In terms of the visual of it, and later on when it kind of falls up, the sheet of metal falls on the floor, and we're playing with the angles.
Well, yeah, I was going to get to that. Is that it's used kind of inventively in an action scene coming up because May and Yo-Yo go to because there's like a scene where Sarge and that have like an altercation with like an employee, security guard at the shipping yard. So May and Yo-Yo are there, then they get called to the jewelry store, and then May has the idea because they keep getting around without us knowing anything. There's more people in that vault than went in. They've clearly got some kind of technology that's letting them get in there and getting out. She has the idea to go back where they've already been, and she kind of like, susses out the truck, and she goes in, and you know what? You could tell May's leg's not broken this year because she almost took out the entire team of villains on her own. Like that,
she did. Yeah.
That is a scene in this episode, and then it does get really inventive with that portal because the sheet of metal falls over and Snowflake just kind of hits the floor essentially and can't get through until Jackal lifts it up. And then at the end of the scene, when May's like distracted by Coulson, says Coulson, and he reacts to that as if she just said that name. He
recognizes the name. Yeah.
Why did you say that name? It's just kind of...
Yeah.
Not in words, but that's the look in his face. And yeah, they did this really smart thing where the sheet of metal with a portal on it, they kind of like hit it into the back of May's legs, and she falls into it and then falls into the room, into the vault.
It.
Yeah. And then they turn off the portal thing so that it just becomes a wall again. She can't get back to them. But it's a really fun little fight scene because she kind of takes them out one by one. She takes out Snowflake, she takes out Jax, and she takes out Jackal. She gets all three of them. And she comes off looking like a badass. And she's even more of a badass. Like, see when they finally get into the vault on the other end, and May's in there on their own, and Yo-Yo's like, how the hell did you get in here? And May's just like, I lost. But you're like, oh, this next time she gets her hands on them, they're screwed.
Yeah.
May's pissed.
So, it was the early part of this where my other complaint.
Oh, here we go. What?
So Coulson leaves the truck, or Sarge leaves the truck, and about 3 seconds later is the sound at the door when they open it to May. Did she not see him?
No.
Why not?
Because the truck has more than one exit and entrance.
But he goes out that door, surely. It looked like he went out there. Because you see him leaving that direction, and then they turn at the door because they were like, "Oh, that's quick! Like he's back already."
A lot of shipping containers about. He just walked past one. He's out of full view. She walks in.
I mean, they're in a bit of an open space where they were parked. I'm questioning this because a little bit later, the employee May rescues like, right, run, and she runs right past Sarge, and he's like, huh, that's weird. What's going on there? Yeah, but
you even see the truck in the background when she's running past Sarge. Though it's like she's at least went round a corner.
Yeah, this really bothered me because it was so quick after he stepped out to when she appeared.
Oh, this is such an anal complaint.
Just an extra few seconds, just a little bit of time. I don't know. It really bugged me.
This is such an anal complaint because you can just explain it.
Not well enough though. It's just a timing issue.
You're letting things bug you. You're actively letting things ruin things for you. That just let it go.
I can't because it was annoying.
This is not a mistake.
I felt it was.
Well, it's not. You're wrong.
How could you say I'm wrong if I feel like something was wrong?
Because
this is an opinion.
Trust me, your opinions can be wrong.
That is not how opinions work.
They'll work however I feel that they work. So
yeah, all right.
You're wrong. I'm not having this.
I'm sorry they couldn't just time this better.
Look, I was sticking up for the truck mostly out of Devil's Advocate, right? I can see the problem with that. This, I'm like, this is easily explainable. Like, there's shipping containers round. He walks around one, she walks around, the other side.
Close to the shipping containers, there wasn't enough time.
It wasn't that quick.
It was that quick.
It
was seconds.
A good 10 seconds.
It was not that long.
Right, we're going to stop talking about this because I'm not doing this in circles. Because you will sit here and just be a dick about this for 2 hours before we get to anything else. Yeah. So, I really liked the fight scene because it was inventive. It took this really simple idea of a portal and just played with it. And it did little inventive things that made it feel like it felt like they were just being creative. Like they just sat down and said, okay, what can we do with this idea that there's a bit of metal with a portal on it and we can move it around.
And the show still has great fight choreography and cinematography for following that.
Yeah, yeah, it felt
It's
really good.
amongst the best on TV for that.
When May fell through the hole when it hit the back of her legs and she landed in the vault, there was a really nice level of almost vertigo, but it was just all of a sudden, oh, I'm falling.
Yeah, like this tilt. Yeah.
Yeah.
But even before the portal came into play, when it was just May doing May things.
Yeah, maybe in May. Yeah.
Yeah. It still looked excellent.
Yeah. So no, that was good. But yeah, and I mean, even Jack was like, "Hey," she said, "Coulson." Does that word mean something to you? Because
it's like, hey, you froze.
It is like, maybe it does. It might do. Like almost like he's not even heard it in a long time, if he ever has heard it.
Yeah, no, I suspect he has. I wonder if he was that is his name, but he goes by Sarge, and none of these guys know it.
I'm assuming he originally was a Coulson, or I'm wondering if he never went by that, but his like parents were Coulsons.
Maybe, yeah.
And it's the sort of thing where it sounds like it's been so long since he's been on his world that he because we found out at one point Benson, the new doc in the S.h.e.i.l.d. hub, he tested DNA. They get some DNA from one of the cups from the store, and he's like, yeah, there's all these weird things that aren't like native to our world. Like there's all this weird shit that I can't even begin to decipher.
Take all that away. Yeah, it's Coulson.
And it's a match for Coulson, which leads me to think, yes, this is Coulson's doppelganger from some other Earth.
Yeah, I'm feeling the multiverse here.
Yeah, at the very least, I would say that Coulson came from an Earth. If the others came from different planets, they might have done, but Coulson definitely came from an Earth.
Yeah,
of some kind.
I was enjoying all the theorizing about what could Coulson be. It's like, what about these LMDs? That seems like a terrible idea.
I like that actually. I like that.
Max like, yeah, they were a terrible idea.
I like that they brought that up because it's an obvious thing to say. Hey, LMDs are a thing in this world. We should probably at least
consider it.
Yeah. And it's like, no, he's got DNA, so it can't be an LMD. So okay, fine. That's an easy way to just write it off.
It's a problem solved. Yeah.
But it was a nice cutaway actually. It fits at that point because I want to speak to the idiot who helped create these. He's like, well, that'll be quite tough. Cut to space. But all the Coulson his gang stuff, Sarge and his gang, was pretty good. Still no Deke.
Yeah.
What are they playing at? Where's our Deke?
If they're actually pulling the shit I suggested last week.
Nah, I've seen casting photos with him on set. He's definitely in something.
Oh, can you imagine if they just got him on set as well? Just like, hey, come, just
if nothing else, they put out like a sort of Merry Christmas thing from the set at Christmas, and he was there. He was on the set. So unless it's that elaborate that he just comes in for set for the stuff they put on Twitter.
Could you imagine?
Nah, he's going to show up. Maybe in an interesting way. Maybe there'll be like almost a joke as to why he's been held away all this time.
Maybe, yeah.
I could see it.
Maybe he's just drunk. And all those what was it he was addicted to? I can't remember.
The thing. Oh yeah, it was a beer, right?
Yeah, it was a specific one, wasn't it?
It was like a shitty beer. That's right.
Yeah.
So back at the S.h.e.i.l.D. hub, obviously Mac's still doing his thing. Agent Keller, who Yo-Yo's with, he's not really done anything yet to make him stand out and be interesting. He's not bad. It's not like he's Lincoln.
No, absolutely not. He's fine.
Yeah,
right?
just to compare him to someone who was actively kind of This is just a case of like he's just kind of there right now. Well,
he's not had much to do, to be fair, and I'm a little maybe concerned that with the reduced episode count, things like these side characters might get a bit short-shifted.
I don't know, because I think they did a really neat thing in this episode and last episode where all the space stuff last episode was the one crew, and then this episode it was all Fitz. And then I feel like they're kind of divvying up the time, kind of.
No, I agree. In terms of like our principal cast, I'm thinking of things like new members like Keller. Like, okay, are they going to get as much time?
Well, no, but I'm saying if they're going to do that, then they might devote time in a couple of episodes
they could do, yeah.
That'll give him the weight that he needs. I mean, Benson's working out just fine, I think. The scene towards the end where he comes in because he's got a drinking problem, and Matt comes in and he's pouring booze, and he's like, "Really?" He's like, "No, this is for you when you see this." And he's like, "So I got some footage off of this like DNA hard drive thing that this dude in the wall had."
Yeah.
Watch this, and it's footage of like Coulson or Sarge and that destroying this other world, whatever it is. It's like they've started. It's almost like the opposite of terraforming. They seem to have just started an apocalypse.
Yeah, and it's like, all right, I'll do. Time to go.
Yeah, and what the little thing I loved about this scene though is that it's actually Benson who picks up the drink and starts drinking it at the end of the scene. It's not Mac.
Yeah, I got that too. It's just that the idea is like, even when he knew what was coming, watching it again, he's like, nope, still need that drink.
Yeah, just give it a chuckle. Whereas Fitz, just talk about in space, Enoch is still alive. Enoch's still around, which I am most pleased about.
Yes, absolutely, because Enoch is cool.
Yes, it turns out what Fitz was doing last episode, it seemed like, was he was actually altering his irises to.
Yeah, he was changing his eyes to the kind of robot-y looking. Is a kind of way I describe him.
I mean, it wasn't to disguise himself as a robot though. It was to disguise himself as this alien race that's mostly on this ship.
Yeah, but they have those robot-y eyes.
And he actually gives himself away, even though he's learned the language. You know, Enoch's taught him the language. He acts disgusted at these snail things in the tank, and they all love these snail things. And then they say, "What part of the this planet are you from?" And he's like, "Oh, the north, way up north." And like, did he just say he was from a wasteland?
Irradiated wasteland.
Irradiated wasteland, that's right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. So they catch him out, and then there's this douchebag who's running the ship. He's like, I didn't, hire.
He is a glorious douche.
I didn't hire a Terran for my ship. And then basically, the plot here, outside of just catching up with Fitz, is to kind of show that, okay, he still has some of those dark thoughts in his head, but he's still clearly got, he's still very noble and tries to do the right thing.
Yeah, and it's the idea that he's using those dark thoughts because he's like, okay, I know what shit people are capable of because I can think of it.
Yeah, because Enoch tries to keep sort of suggesting that maybe this outcome will happen, and Fitz is like, no, he's going to kill us. And then he saves the crew because the crew are going to get killed. He's like, well, you're going to work for free. I'll off the engineering crew. And Fitz is like, no, I can train them. Let me train them, and they'll be more efficient. They'll be more useful.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, I'll just kill them and stop speaking back to me. And then. So he's rigged up a trap because he's like, oh yeah, I fixed the airlock, and I'm like, so as soon as he went in it,
of course he did, yeah.
As soon as he offered to step in the airlock to protect the others, I'm like, all right, he's rigged this so that when the airlock will be the safe part, and it'll be the main part that's dangerous.
I appreciated that he, even when he was inside the airlock, he was still trying to reason with him. It's like, look, it's not too late. Come on, we can deal with this. I'm useful.
Yeah, it wasn't just like, well, I'm just going to be happy with killing this guy because he's an asshole. He was like, he's going to try his best he can to try and get another solution, but ultimately it's his choice, the bad guy's choice. That's
he presses the button.
He presses the button, and then it's the airlock on the opposite side that opens, and they all go flying out.
Yeah,
and
Enoch, because Enoch's prepared.
Yeah, he has to latch on and hit the button.
Yeah.
So, and then they decide just at the end, like, if they land on the planet they're going to be seen as mutineers, the crew, and Fitz doesn't want to, just damn them like that, so he's like, well, we've got enough fuel to get to this other planet, we can go there, so they turn around, and just as that happens in the post-credit scene, is when our Zephyr comes in from the jump, and,
just bypasses them.
Simmons is like, he's here, I can feel it, and I'm like, alright. A little bit of a trope, you just missed them, kind of thing,
yeah.
But it's one that on its own is not a big deal. It's not something that bugs me that much.
I agree. It's forgivable.
Because I feel like here, knowing S.h.i.e.L.D.'s pacing, they're going to be reunited within about 2 or 3 episodes. It's not going to be that long.
It's always sooner than we expect.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate not having the Zephyr crew in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I like that stuff and I missed it because it was good stuff. I like those characters. I appreciated they went, no, screw it. That'll be other stuff. Let's just not bother.
No.
We can manage without.
I wonder if they're almost doing like a. I don't know if how long they're going to hold it off, but I wonder if the intended feeling of this is almost like the movies in a sense, where you've got these 3 very separate groups of characters that have all been split up and they're all doing their own plots, but the idea being that when they all get together finally on Earth, it's going to be quite exciting. When the team's all back together, it's going to be like a assemble kind of moment.
Sure. Yeah.
So, that could work. And maybe it's kind of like a shake up from doing the pods, the arcs where you've got 3 arcs in a season. They're doing a different thing this year where they've got them split into groups, so they'll all got their own plots for maybe a half, 2/3, whatever they're going to have this season, and then.
And I think they can get away with not doing the pods because it's a shorter season. They're probably going, do you know what? We can do 13. But
Oh
you
yeah,
do we can
obviously.
do a neat story for 30. Whereas 22, you're like, okay, you're stretching it out, right? So you want to go shorter.
Yeah.
Whereas 13 is acceptable. They're like, no, we can do that straight through.
Yeah, I don't think it's as a blanket thing as that. I think you can have a story that works for 22 episodes. I think it's just a choice creatively as to what you want to
I
fill.
think it's a lot harder to do 22 and not have any of it feel like filler. Because the last couple of seasons of S.h.e.i.l.d., there's not been a single episode of filler because it's been so tight on the pods.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's kind of a lost art form. We kind of talked about this last week, but
We did, yeah.
You're saying filler, but what good shows did is to have good standalone episodes, not filler.
Okay, yes, that is a fair point, but as an evolution of the 22 episode format, I think S.h.e.i.l.d. kind of nailed it with that.
Sure, yeah. I don't think anyone's looking at Hush, the episode of the hit television show Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and going, "Oh, that's a filler episode because it's not part of the main plot."
No, it's true. I think though the inevitability in a 22 episode show with standalone episodes is that some of them are Hush, right? Some of them are great,
Mm-hmm.
and you go, that's a great standalone episode, and then you have Bad Eggs, and you go, well, that's some shitty filler.
Yeah, I mean, well, again, I don't know if I.
It's basically quality as to whether or not it's filler or good at
Well,
that.
no, see,
At that
no, I disagree with that. I wouldn't say a bad standalone episode is filler. If standalone episodes are a regular thing in the show, I wouldn't say just because it's bad it makes it filler. It's just a bad standalone episode. What
Sure.
makes something filler in a show like Shield or any other serialized show is when it's still trying to be part of the main plot, but it's intentionally kind of just spinning the wheels because it doesn't want to advance it too much.
Yeah, which happens more often than not now in the 22 episode shows.
Oh sure, yeah. I mean, at least on the CW shows that we still watch.
Yeah,
Absolutely does. If anything, they have more filler when they do proper episodes in some of those shows.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Flash. So there you go. That was it's Shield season 6 episode 2. It was very good.
Still great. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
With my little
digging.
problems.
I'm digging Sarge and I'm digging his team.
Yeah, I like the crew camaraderie that they've got, even though they're all very different people. They feel like a unit.
Yeah. What do we think? Do we think they're going to capture them? Like, beat them in a couple of episodes, maybe to a point, and actually have like this Sarge captured to like interrogate him and maybe get some juicy interactions.
I'm honestly not sure. I think they might get just Sarge and the rest of the crew rescue him.
Okay. Yeah, but still have some interrogation where we get some.
Oh yeah, before he gets
yeah.
rescued, we'll get some bits. Yeah, definitely.
Here's the thing: what does Sarge stay evil, or does he like get inspired to be the Coulson he can be, kind of thing by the end of the season? Like, is that something they do?
I kind of hope he just stays evil. I think it's more fun if he's just a villain. That's okay. I don't need I don't need him to be redeemable just because he's got Coulson's face.
No, I like him to be redeemable, but like. Because I think the natural debate has to come up at one point when they realize that he is a version of Coulson. Like, can we appeal to?
No, I
who
think
he is?
I think they should try. I think they should absolutely go along that thought process and think they can appeal to that. But I think ultimately, I don't want them. At least right now, I don't want them to go down that route from Sarge's perspective of actually kind of listening to it.
I won't be mad if they do. I don't want it to be something they start seeding like next episode. Like, it's something that I would only want like towards the end. Like, I'd want like, I don't know, maybe he sees who Coulson was, on this earth.
Yeah.
He sees, I don't know, but like, and not even so much that he like goes full hero and starts helping S.h.i.e.L.D. Just there's just a couple of moments where he makes a different choice because of what he's learned or who he knows. I don't know. Like, I could see him doing that, and I don't think it would upset me.
Right now, my gut instinct is that I would be disappointed in that. But I mean, we'll wait and see.
Because it would be a neat way to honor Coulson's memory. This idea that like someone because I don't think he's going to stick around. I don't think we're going to have Sarge around next season.
Here's the thing. What you're getting at is the idea that Coulson is good no matter what, right? It is kind of what you're getting at there. Like even these other versions,
no, not good no matter what. Just they all have the potential to be good.
Okay, sure. I think it makes our Coulson movie better if it's like no. Our Coulson was special because he was the one good Coulson. That's more interesting to me.
He was the chosen Coulson, so he was special. He was the best one.
No, not because of any sort of destiny or anything. I just don't know.
And to every multiverse, there is a chosen one. he shall be the noble Coulson. He shall form the Avengers.
The idea that no. Coulson isn't inherently good, but our Coulson was a good man, and that is more appealing to me than just because he's Coulson, he must also be able to be good.
Well, I'm not saying it's a guarantee. I'm saying there's a possibility, and the possibility doesn't upset me. I don't think one is better than the other. I think both can have some great dramatic points for the characters. Either that, like our Coulson was special, or that, like this Coulson has the ability to be like our Coulson. He just needs to actually have the inspiration to be so. He has to have the right circumstances. It's nurture versus nature kind of thing, right? Like
it is. I just want a villain though sometimes.
And what drove him to be like this? Again, what is his motivation? It comes back to why is he doing this?
We really don't know enough about him yet, do we?
Yeah. So, interesting. Anyway, that has been us. So thank you very much for sticking around. Oh, pardon me. Thank you very much, and we will see you next time. Let us know what you thought of the episode in the comments below. Like and subscribe, all that stuff helps us out a lot. As does, of course, going to patreon.com/MailFuzzTV, where you can support us for as little as $1 per month and keep the reviews coming. But otherwise, that is us. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching TV, guys. Have you got any vanilla?